The Cybrarian presents The Lost Winter. Written and illustrated by Samwise Didier. Audio samples courtesy of YouTube Audio Library. Additional voices by Shazreea. Suitable for all ages. Original publication 2017. Unabridged. Upon the death of Spriggan, goddess and creator of the Pandir, and all other beasts in Mistgard, the island has come under attack by ruthless frost and fire giants from afar. Long fragmented, every creature in the 8 clans must now come together to defend their land. Hammerheart must join with Sunspear, Mistcloak with Thundermaw, and, most important, the children of Spriggan must unite with their forgotten comrades of the 9th clan, the Berserk. Led by the eldest of the Pandir, the clans make their way to the Asimir Peaks for a final standoff. As frost covers Mistgard, old prejudices must be overcome if the Pandir hope to match the giant lords Wintir and King Samir in battle. Available now on Audible and iTunes shortly. The Jade Bowl released another wave of devastation upon their foes, peppering red and blue hides with deadly feathers of green. "Hail, Sunspear!" yelled Ulir and his riders. "Welcome to the battle, Jade Bow!" Bjorgen yelled back, with a throat hoarse from screaming. The Sunspear chieftain looked battered and beaten, but he still stood his ground. "I think they're pulling back. Look, they run to the forests. Loose another volley, my archers," shouted Ulir. Ulstag launched another spear-sized arrow that impaled 2 giant kin together. Suddenly, he noticed something peculiar.
"Is it dawn already?"
muttered the Berserk. Ulir looked at the dim light glowing eerily over the tree line. "Only if the golden skull rises from the south. What treachery is at hand?" His answer came a moment later. From out of the frozen forest came the living son of fire himself. Oak and pine trees burned as he walked through them, as though they were mere blades of grass. The giantkin slowly moved back into the forest as their lord and master, King Samir, broke the tree line and stood facing the Sunspear and Jade Bowl clans. He was easily 30 feet tall, dwarfing all but the tallest trees, and his skin was a bloody copper hue, pocked with basalt and obsidian shards. He wore blackened iron plate and ringmail that glowed from the heat, and his beard was an inferno of flame. Atop his head floated a massive crown of iron and fire. He towered above the Sunspear chieftain as a mountain did a stone. The King of Firehome laughed wickedly and produced a large sword that he carried across his back. The sound of it being unsheathed was that of 1,000 forges igniting at once. The iron sword blazed a crimson red and burst into flame as he raised it above his head. Magma dripped from the 20-foot blade like poison from a serpent's fang. The ice lake's surface began to melt and crack, and Ulir and his riders backed away, sensing the imminent conclusion to this encounter. "Get off the ice! Retreat! Retreat!" Ulir yelled frantically. Those close to the fallen Sunspear helped the wounded onto their elk horn. Ulstag rode up to the Sunspear leader, arm extended.
Come, chieftain. The battle is lost. We must run.
Bjorgen glared at the Berserk and shouted back in rage. Get away from me, you white demon! He raised his broken spear with murderous intent when the sword of Samir smashed down upon the frozen lake. There was a hissing mist of white-hot steam, followed by a blast of boiling water. The surface cracked, and the lake became a spider web of jagged shards of ice. Ulir and his men had scarcely been able to turn and run when they felt the ground giving way beneath them. Run like never before! Dawnstrider! Run for our lives! Shouted Ulir. Dawnstrider and the rest of the Elkhorn barreled across the cracking surface. Ulir looked back at Ulstag, whose spearhorn was no match for the swiftness of the Elkhorn.
Run, little chieftain. I'll meet you.
Ulir saw the giant Berserk and his mount fall through the broken lake, the hole quickly covered by melting chunks of ice. There was a ripping sound, almost like that of stone being torn apart. Beneath the hooves of Dawnstrider, Ulir saw a white crack dance below the surface of the ice like a bolt of lightning. He looked at his men and to Dawnstrider as the ice splintered, fractured, and gave way to the boiling water underneath. Ulir and his riders fell into the roiling blackness of the burning lake. Thank you for listening. This has been a Cybrarian production of The Last Winter by Samwise Didier. Artwork courtesy of Samwise Didier. Audio samples courtesy of YouTube Audio Library. Additional voices by Shazreea. For updates, follow Vane Studios on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell of the Cybrarian YouTube channel. And if you're feeling generous, buy us a coffee to support our work. All links in the description.